You ever finish a boss fight and kind of feel bad afterwards? Like, not because it was hard, but because of who you just killed and why they were even fighting you in the first place. It hits kind of different. These aren't just enemies, they're stories, tragic ones. And once you know the lore behind them, you start to realize maybe you weren't the hero after all. And this was kind of inspired by my previous video. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it right here for you. But today, let's talk about the saddest bosses in all of gaming, ones that broke your heart after you beat them. Number 1. Great Grey Wolf Sif. Now, if there's one boss fight that nearly every Souls fan remembers with a little bit of guilt, let's be honest, it's this one. Sif is a giant wolf wielding a massive sword in its mouth. It's cool as hell, let's be honest. The fight feels like an epic fantasy showdown. Like, it's a really cool fight. It's you versus this towering creature under the gray sky. But the lore, it completely flips that feeling on its head. Sif was the most loyal companion of Knight Artorias, one of the greatest warriors in the history of Lordran. Artorias sacrificed himself to hold back the Abyss. Basically, an all-out consuming darkness corrupted everything it touched. Sif was with him until the very end. After Artorias fell, Sif took it upon herself to guard his grave, protecting not just his legacy, but the very land he died to protect. When you enter the boss arena, Sif doesn't attack right away. She sizes you up, there's a moment of pause, and if you've played the Artorias of the Abyss DLC, and you saved her as a pup when she was a little baby, she remembers that. Her howl is different. There's hesitation, there's recognition, there's sadness. She fights you not because she wants to, but because she has to. She's defending the last honor of her master from a world that keeps taking everything away. And as her health drops and she starts limping, struggling, but still swinging, it gets brutal to watch. There's no joy in this fight. There's no joy in the victory. It's just an overwhelming feeling that you may be the monster here. And this fight isn't about loot, it's about loyalty. And unfortunately, it's also about loss. If you haven't played this fight, please go play this fight. Sif is a great boss. Dark Souls is a great game. If you haven't played it, you're missing out. That's all I'm gonna say. Number 2, the boss, Metal Gear Solid 3. Okay, so few boss fights hit as emotionally as this one. The boss is more than just your final opponent. She's the blueprint for everything Snake becomes. She trains him, raised him like a son. She's a war hero, feared and revered. And throughout the game, you hear about her betrayal, how she defected to the Soviet Union, how now she's the enemy. But the truth is way more complicated. She didn't betray her country. She sacrificed everything for it. The entire defection was staged. Her role was to infiltrate and mislead the enemy. And to do that, she had to destroy her own legacy. And in the end, her final mission is to die at your hands, quietly, alone, in a field of white flowers. The fight itself is haunting. There's no music. It's just the sound of nature, wind, birds, the occasional gunfire echo. And when you finally do defeat her, there's no celebration, there's no cinematic explosion, just a silent, slow walk away, and the flowers turn red. Snake doesn't just kill his mentor, he buries the very ideal she lived for. And the rest of the series, it's shaped by this moment, by the pain of doing what's necessary, even when it's cruel. It's a boss fight that became a funeral. And I love this in games when the boss fight transcends just being a fight. I mean, it blends itself into the story in a way that a lot of games don't do. And of course, if there was any game to do it, it'd be Metal Gear Solid 3. It truly was a sad fight though, rip in the chat, boys. Number 3, Moon Soon, Metal Gear Rising. Okay, this one might surprise people. Metal Gear Rising is full of insane fights. I mean, guys cutting buildings in half, over the top anime energy, and a little bit of memes, a lot of memes. But Moon Soon, he's different. He represents the game's philosophical core. A cyborg warrior who's not just trying to kill you, but trying to dismantle your entire worldview. He believes free will doesn't exist, that everyone is chained to their memes, not TikToks, but ideas, beliefs, behaviors passed down like DNA. The war is inevitable because humans are designed to destroy each other. And you get the sense that he didn't start out this way, all right? It's just that he saw too much, lost too much, and the cynicism, that's armor. It's a way to survive in a world that chews people up and spits out hollow men. His fight is fast, chaotic, intense, but his dialogue, it stays with you. Because underneath all the spectacle is a guy who genuinely thinks you're naive for believing in change. Defeating him doesn't feel like defeating evil, more so it feels like silencing someone who gave up on hope. For a game to really pick at your brain and think about your philosophical beliefs and challenge your ideals, it's a great thing. All right, number 4, Ludwig the Accursed. Okay, if you didn't know, I love Bloodborne. It's my favorite game of all time. Ludwig is from the DLC of Bloodborne, okay? And he's one of the best bosses ever made. He is the stuff of nightmares. His introduction, pure horror. A twisted beast crawling out of darkness, shrieking nonsense, barely recognizable as anything he once was as a human. But midway through the fight, he finds something. His old weapon, the Moonlight Greatsword. The weapon, if you've played Dark Souls, Demon Souls, any of them, it's been in all of them. It's the iconic Moonlight Greatsword. He wields it and regains his sanity. The beat pauses. He looks at his sword and suddenly he remembers. He remembers who he was and what he stood for. He regains a piece of his mind, enough to speak clearly at the least, enough to fight with honor. Ludwig was the first hunter of the Healing Church, a protector of Yharnam, a legend in his time. He fought to keep people safe from the plague, but the very system that empowered him, the blood, it also destroyed him, slowly, but inevitably. Now, he's just a monster, barely clinging to the memory of the man he used to be. And when you finally defeat him, he speaks. He begs you to tell him if he was a good hunter, if his actions meant something, if he was more than just another beast. And your only answer is silence. And then you get a really, really cool greatsword. Like, come on now. I mean, like, it's really sad. It's a really sad fight. It's a really sad thematic piece of the world. It's a great piece of video game history. But you get a sick ass sword, I can't lie. R.I.P. Ludwig, man. Number 5, Toriel. Okay, this fight is quiet, almost cozy, which is exactly what makes it so painful. Toriel is the first person to show you kindness in Undertale. She shelters you, feeds you, protects you from the outside world. She's not just a tutorial NPC, she's a character with real warmth and vulnerability. But then the game forces you into a conflict and you can't leave the ruins without going through her. And she won't let you go. She's seen too many children fall to the cruelty of the underground. And she's not willing to let you become another name on that list. Her refusal to let you go isn't control, it's grief. It's fear. If you don't understand the game's mercy system, or, if you act impulsively, you can kill her very easily. And when she dies, she doesn't hate you. She forgives you, and that's it. It's not a cinematic battle. It's a moral test. And the guilt of that fight, it lingers way longer than any amount of experience or any amount of level ups could do for you. Undertale, as everyone knows, has always been more than just a game. Everything on this list has been more than just a game. When games can transcend their stories into your real life and intertwine the way you look at reality, you know that you've got something good on your hands. And this is one of those moments. This is one of those examples. Number 7, Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower. So I'm excited to talk about this one because, as you guys know, Bloodborne is my favorite game of all time. I've already said it earlier. Lady Maria is one of Bloodborne's most tragic and beautifully haunting boss fights. Not just because of how it plays out mechanically, but for what it means emotionally. She's not a monster. She's not a villain. She's a guardian. A mourner, a woman consumed by guilt, trying to protect others from the same suffering she caused. Before you even reach her, the game gives you subtle hints through notes, whispers, eerie imagery. You start to piece together her story. She was a student of Gurman, the first hunter, the guy in the hunter's dream, or nightmare, and she was deeply involved in the events of the Fishing Hamlet massacre. And that massacre was a horrifying secret. A village was slaughtered after the church discovered something ancient and powerful beneath it. And Lady Maria, for all her skill and pride, she participated in the bloodshed, but she wasn't proud of it. Not even for 1 second. The guilt drove her to isolate herself in the Astral Clock Tower, abandoning her weapons and her identity. She sat motionless in a chair, awaiting just for someone, maybe punishment, maybe forgiveness. She didn't know. But when you find her, she's quiet, calm. She asks you to leave, but she doesn't want violence. Yet, once you push her, she fights. Not to win, but to protect, to stop you from descending deeper into the nightmare where her sins dwell. And when she ignites her blood and truly unleashes her power in her second phase, it's not from rage, it's from desperation. She's trying to atone, to make sure no one else repeats the horrors that she took part in. And when she falls, she doesn't scream, She doesn't beg, she simply fades, as if she'd been waiting for it this whole time. Lady Maria isn't a boss you defeat. She's a sorrow you confront, and afterward, it's impossible to see her as anything other than broken and noble. Her legacy isn't her blade, it's her remorse, and it lingers long after you leave the tower. I mean, literally as soon as you beat her, the Astral Clock Tower opens and you get to see the fishing hamlet. That's the final area in the DLC of the game. And you get to see exactly the atrocities they committed, what the state of the fishing hamlet is like now, and the horror awaiting you at the finale. It's a great DLC. I will forever love this game and glaze it to the ends of the world. Please play Bloodborne, even though it's in 30 FPS and Sony hates it. So to conclude today, the best boss fights stick with you, not just because they were hard, but because they meant something. They challenged more than just your reflexes and skill as a player, they challenged your heart. And you might not realize it in that moment, but afterward, when the dust settles and you finally understand who or what you just killed, that's when the real weight of it hits. In a battle where you feel the effects the hardest after it's over, is a legendary one in my books. Let me know in the comments which boss hit you the hardest, not just in terms of your HP and one shot you 87 times. I'm talking about in your heart, man. Let me know which boss affected you the most or that you remember fondly. And I'll see you in the next one. It's been your boy Aura, and salute.